I am going to make sure I'm in the right group. So my name is Ashley Patrick. I'm the nutrition and wellness coach for the Educators First group. Our subject or topic this month for February is relationships. And there's something I've done and kind of learned in the last few years about building relationships that I thought I would share with you guys. And then I just had like a refresher on it when I started reading this book called The Slight Edge. Okay. So this is not just about relationships, it's kind of in your life in general. But basically, it comes down to the slight edge is basically a bunch of little things you do every day, like little actions. They kind of seem insufficient. Like you do them once and it feels like maybe it's not helping, it's not working. You don't see the reward right away, but they add up. It's kind of like the compound effect if you've heard about that or read that book. So it's basically just a bunch of little things you do that get you ultimately either closer to the person you want to be or further away, and it is broke down into little steps. Okay, so I want to share on how simple daily disciplines add up to big success or big failure, and how to incorporate this into building and keeping your relationships. But you can also incorporate this into any kind of goals, any kind of goal setting. And I'll give some examples on that too. So this month is about healthy relationships. Have you ever built up a relationship with someone, like a significant other, a friend, a coworker, and have it be such a strong relationship? Like maybe you talk daily, or you knew you could call them and kind of open up with them about anything, and they would be there to support you. And they almost feel like family, or maybe they are even closer than some of your family. Okay, have you had those relationships, or have you had the really strong relationships that were good for a while and then all of a sudden they are gone? It's just they fizzled away and you don't know why you don't talk anymore. You're just not sure, right? I'm sure we've had both of these, but do you ever wonder why? So this is the meat and potatoes about this. Okay, so whether you have really strong relationships or not very strong relationships, it kind of almost always comes down to the slight edge. Maybe there's some circumstances where maybe they did something hurtful or they were kind of negative and you just had to get away. That's different, okay? But this will be like with the healthy relationships you've had. So when you're in a relationship with someone, things go south. Your relationship is as low as they can go, right? So typically when people start to recognize this, it's almost like you're at the point of the relationship is becoming a failure, right? And you're going to do everything in your power to bring it back up. So my example would be like my husband and I got married in 2017. It was good for probably a year, and then we were not in our honeymoon stage anymore. Right? Life got real, right? So we were fighting over the dishes, the laundry, everything. You know, who let the dog out, who didn't, why you didn't let the dog out, whatever it was. And I was constantly throwing out the divorce word. Like every argument was like, maybe we should just get a divorce. Maybe you're right. This isn't meant to be. We should probably just get a divorce. Let me remind you, that was not an option in my eyes. Divorce is not an option. We have 3 kids together. We've been together for a very long time. We've lived together a lot longer than we've been married. Like our daughter is 10, and then we have a 5 and a 3-year-old, right? So it's just life is crazy. And sometimes you get a little stressed out and upset, right? So that was when it was 2019 is when I reached out to Mallory, and I didn't know who this lady was. Let me tell you that. I had no idea. I found out after talking to her that she lived in Parkers, like really close to me, but she had a wives group going on. It was Compassionate Wives, and it was kind of like a wives only therapy. where it's like you get together with other wives virtually, and she kind of coaches you on mindset was a lot of it, and just like the slight edge. There's little things you could do every day that I wasn't doing, that I didn't even notice I wasn't doing, that I didn't even know he needed to hear from me, or things that different ways of showing appreciation. Like I didn't know any of that, right? So after going through this group, I have notes over here, that's why I keep looking at. But after going through this group, I realized that we were at the point of failure. And I was going to do everything I could. That's why I started this group. So I'll share this picture with you too. But it's right here. It's backwards for you. I'm sorry. So it's this one actually. So it says success, survival, and failure. Okay. So we were down here in our relationship. So I did whatever I could. And then we were at like survival mode. We were getting along. Life was good. And then I stopped doing these daily tasks and we went back down here, right? And then I started doing them and life was good. And then went back down there. Why does that happen? This happens to everybody, okay? So what this is a diagram about how, like I said, you feel like you're at the bottom. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's with your relationships, maybe it's your health. You're at rock bottom and you're like, I just need to do something. So then you do these things that help you get out of rock bottom, right? So maybe you change something in your finances and now you have paid off your debt. Like you are doing good financially. Maybe in your health, you're exercising more, eating better, making good choices. You're feeling better. Your blood pressure went down, whatever it was. Like you got back up from the bottom, right? So most people will get to the point of like survival where it's like you're good, and then they slowly forget about the things they were doing daily and stop doing them, and you drop back down. That's why some people will go all the way to the top of the business, and then something changes financially, and all of a sudden they're bankrupt. Like they've lost it all. You don't understand. Or like lottery, people that win the lottery, we all say it that, oh, if I win the lottery, I wouldn't do money. Like, I'd be a lot better with my money. I would not make a bunch of money and then lose it and be broker than when I started, right? You say that, but you don't know what you don't know. But that's because a lot of people, like you got a lot of money, you didn't change your habits, and boom, right back down. You're not just going to make a lot of money and stay there, okay? So this is with the relationship, too. It's like, are you doing some daily things? And I'm going to read this paragraph here because it'll kind of make more sense to you, too. But basically, it says, when people are looking down the barrel of failure in their lives, they will do whatever it takes to get themselves moving, something, anything, to start climbing upward toward the point of survival. And then, once they get to the point where they're keeping their heads above water, they start heading back down again. As they start getting close enough to the failure line that they can see is coming, they go, whoops, I'm headed towards failure, and then they do whatever it takes to turn their trajectory around and start heading back up, and the cycle repeats. Okay, so this could be, like I said, anything with your finances, your health, relationships, and your life as a whole. And there's some back history. It could be, a lot of it is like self-sabotaging. You start becoming successful or whatever, and somebody says something, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that's not for me. You're right. What am I thinking? It could be a bunch of stuff mentally, like your mindset around it, or your philosophy about it. But ultimately, none of that matters, honestly, like why you're not doing it. The fact is, you need to do these things, and I'm going to give you a couple examples of things you can do that will bring you from getting off the roller coaster of failure, survival, and go from failure, survival, up to success. And to help keep you there, to help keep you at your weight loss goals, to help keep you in a really strong relationship. Now, are things going to happen and you're going to go back down? Yes, you're not always, even when you're at the top, you have the best relationship. Something's going to happen. Maybe it's a horrible life tragedy, like we don't know. But the fact is that you don't want to focus on that. You need to focus on what to do to keep you going upward so you don't go back down so easily, okay? So some examples I want to share with you, and then I'll share some that like I did. But things like taking a few dollars out of a paycheck, putting it into your savings and leaving it there, not spending it, doing a few minutes of exercise every day and not skipping it, reading 10 pages of an inspiring, educational, life-changing book every day, taking a moment to tell someone how much you appreciate them, doing that consistently every day for months and years, not just a one and done. Little things that seem insignificant in the doing, yet when compounded over time yield very big results. You can call these little virtues or little success habits. I call them simple daily disciplines. Okay? So one or a couple things I did, and I have a couple friends that I coach that have shared different things. So I'll share with you hers first. So she always packs lunches for her husband, and she's done this for years. And then recently she realized that she stopped doing it. Okay, they noticed their finances were struggling a little bit because they were eating out more. They weren't packing lunches, so that kind of triggered it. And I was like, that's a blessing in disguise. Okay, because when she would pack lunches for her husband, she would write a little note in there. And she's like, I don't even know if he reads them or likes them, but I just feel better doing it, And I guarantee he was reading it, hopefully, anyways. But it was just like little notes like, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for all you do for the kids and I. It's just like, I appreciate you. Thank you. I think of this like at Valentine's Day. A lot of people will be like, oh, if my husband buys me flowers, I'm like, what did you do? It's because he doesn't consistently do that. Am I saying that he should buy you flowers all the time? No, but maybe that shows that you are not showing appreciation, or he is not showing appreciation throughout the year other than on the holidays when it's expected, right? Where I'm like, don't buy me flowers. That's a waste of money. Like, get me a pair of slippers or some weights or a cute top. I don't know, but it's just different things like that. So showing appreciation, just saying thank you when you notice, hey, the dishes are done. I saw you did the dishes. Thank you. Or, hey, you switched over the laundry. Thank you so much. That helped me. Just saying thank you and showing appreciation is something that I never did. I just assumed my husband knew I appreciated it. I just assumed a lot of things. Okay, so that was one thing. I always thought we struggled with communication, and I thought it was on his part. Nope, take a look around. It was me. I did appreciate him. I wasn't sharing it. And I wasn't noticing the things he was doing. Like, I noticed the things that weren't getting done around the house, and then he'd get home and it wasn't a good conversation, but I never noticed the things he did, and it was the same vice versa, so now if I'm having a rough day or he notices something, like, he'll be like, wow, way to go on getting all that laundry done, way to go. Just different things like that. So the small things, if you're consistently showing appreciation, maybe calling your friend, sending a text message, just say, hey, thinking about you, just different things like that every day, sending a picture, a little meme that's funny, just sending something. My mother-in-law sends us a prayer almost every day, just saying, we're praying for you. And it's like, oh, great, awesome, thanks, and I read through the prayer. My husband, I'm not sure if he reads it or not, but he gets it. Excuse me. So it's like just knowing that that's happening. And we have a really strong relationship, me and my mother-in-law, and always have, because she's always showed appreciation and support and always been there. So little insignificant things or insignificant feeling things is a slight edge when you consistently do them. I shared the other day, as far as like health wise, I've had a lot of people that are like, wow, way to go on your health journey. I'm so proud of you. It's like, well, thank you. But it didn't just happen from one workout. You're not going to lose 30 pounds from working out once, just like you're not going to gain 30 pounds from eating McDonald's one time, right? So it's a small compound effect of maybe skipping pop. Instead of ordering a pop when you go to a restaurant, order water. Like, get flavored water, get lemonade, get something else that's a little healthy. Continue with that, the compound effect. You're going to notice weight loss. It's not going to happen instantly. My other thing is coffee. Like, I switched from coffee creamer to a little bit of hot chocolate, or hot cocoa mix. So I'm not getting all the sugars of coffee creamer, because it was literally like half creamer, half coffee for me most days. So just different things like that. Maybe having a water bottle with you throughout the day so you drink more water every day. You're not going to see the results right away. And I think we live in such a world of like fast food and microwaves where it's like we can get stuff done instantly. We don't have to boil water to warm up bath water, like they did in the olden days. We can get instant results. So we almost expect that in everything. You want to lose weight instantly. You want to see it in 8 days or 30 days. You want to drop 30 pounds. And it's like, most of the time, that's not a healthy way to do it. And it's not even possible. And some people it's possible for, but maybe they have 200 pounds to lose. And you're sitting here, you have 35. You're not going to lose it in 30 days, right? So just look at what are little things you can do consistently to maybe take away some stress or whatever you're struggling with, whatever goals you have, and building relationships. When was the last time you sent your friend, hey, miss you, thinking about you, how's the family? When was the last time you sent them anything? Send them a card if you like sending letters. So that's what I have for you. So share one thing that you're going to try and do, and we'll hold you accountable. One thing you want to do today that is going to build a relationship with somebody in your life. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good weekend.